Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
title's right. That's always the biggest thing.
Yep. All right, we just got to get the YouTube rocking and rolling. Oh, Chase, you copied my tweet.
I sent it way before you, Carter. So
Did you?
actually, that is 100% on you.
24 minutes? Hold up.
Check the timestamps on those. I
I'm
sent
dealing
that.
with I'm dealing with this miserable internet here at the Delta Center, so forgive me.
I sent that before you, big dog.
Mm.
That's
Well,
all
people are giving you credit for stuff left and right. You're not even saying. We're getting screwed out here.
Hey, you say it, I say it, we all say it. You know, we're one and the same, man. By the mouth of you or me. It's from the pod. People just they put us together.
Come on, Delta Center Internet, work with me here.
You're coming through pretty good. Although I don't know if we're live.
Is it not showing up?
Not showing up on
it is.
Twitter.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, well, then maybe it's my internet.
Chase, you animal. All right.
Yeah, we're good on YouTube. Yup.
Okay.
Did you get the YouTube link out there on Twitter?
I did not. I'm gonna have to have you handle that one.
I got it. Don't worry, brother.
Okay.
All right.
Ready to roll.
People are ready to hear the voice, Carter. They're ready to hear the voice.
We're ready. We're ready. Don't worry. Just getting everything going. Okay, we're live. Ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. 3, 2. What is going on right now? I'm getting flashed. What is happening?
Are we all right? We all right?
Yeah, I know. Seriously. All right. 3, 2, 1. We're live. We are live right now. I am coming to you live from the Delta Center right now. Chase, you're in Denver right now. We just watched
office.
We just watched an absolute whooping. 98-70 BYU wins over Wisconsin in a round of 32 matchup. Keywords there, round of 32 matchup there.
Pro show.
Chase, initial thoughts from this game.
Initial thoughts, the biggest story that we're going to talk about a lot, but here it is. AJ goes out because of fouls. Wisconsin cuts it to 7. Everything, the sky looks like it's falling. They look like they have momentum. They're starting to hit a few threes. You know, BYU is without its best player. It's panic time. And it was so impressive to me to see how they responded in that moment. There was no panic from them, from that bench, from the entire team. And that's the biggest thing. Like, you ended up winning this by almost 30. You scored 98 points, which is huge. But that start of that second half there with the AJ fouls, that's the story of the game. And once Wisconsin saw that, then it was the life drained out of them. They're like, it's over. The BYU without their best player still not only handled Wisconsin run, turned it around on them, flipped it on its head, and then dominated them. AJ didn't even have to come back in this game at all. Obviously, you still want him to get in there and get his run in. It's just so impressive to see a group of guys come together, figure it out without their best player, and completely dominate a top 25 Wisconsin team. It was obviously the best win of the season. And this was the first time I really felt like we saw BYU's full potential as a basketball team this season, because that was incredible stuff.
You're right. That is the storyline from this game. AJ was phenomenal in that first half. They couldn't stop him. I mean, I think AJ drew 6 or 7 fouls in that first half. I mean, yeah, I know. I set you up there, Chase. But I mean, he was drawing fouls left and right. Wisconsin. I texted someone at halftime. I said, look, Wisconsin is just going to go into the halftime locker room and start reading the Bible and start praying, because on how to find, just searching for answers on how to guard AJ DeBanza without fouling. And then Wisconsin, everything played into their hands to start the second half. AJ goes out with 4 fouls. All of a sudden, you're looking there like, oh my, it gets a little eerie. You're like, oh crap, how's the BYU going to respond? They responded almost even better, and they were playing such connective basketball. I mean, I texted you this, Chase, but Rob Wright controlled the tempo, controlled the game, and we talked about that at nauseum in the preview, where BYU everybody was kind of dictating tempo against BYU this season. Meanwhile, today Rob Wright, he controlled the entire second half. He was getting everybody involved. He was on triple double watch, and then it's a shame he wasn't the first person we brought up. Richie Saunders, man, what a game!
What a game! It was. We said it a bunch of times. He was due for one of these, and boy, did he deliver! Something about this Wisconsin team, I don't know. The 3-point shooting is obviously going to be the thing that everyone points to, and it's so good to see him finally getting rhythm from three. Goes 5 of 9. Some of them are just insane. 5 feet behind the NBA line, getting fouled underneath, still hitting it, all those things. But just so impressive to me was, again, that moment where AJ goes out and it's like, all right, Rob and Richie, it is your team. It's time for you guys to kind of just step up and do everything here. They didn't back down. The Richie getting to the paint stuff opens up everything else he gets to do on the 3-point line. And he was doing it at will against legit Big Ten contender, Big Ten team defenders, and being able to just go to the paint, finish. He's so patient when he gets down there. I thought it was awesome. He also played incredible defense when they needed him to, when Nick Boyd was just really getting to the basket against Will, at his will. When Dawson was getting, fouls and stuff like that, they needed Richie to kind of switch. The whole team had an amazing defensive effort, but Richie especially stood out. The hustle plays, I mean, everything he does, man. He's just love to see it. He's fully back. And any sort of concerns we had about Richie Saunders to start this season, completely gone. He's awesome.
Well, what set everything up too was the other guys were contributing in this game. We saw the second unit step up in a major way. And Dawson Baker, I mean, he's in the starting lineup now with Moo Davis out, so I don't know if you can technically call him in the second unit. Dawson Baker had one heck of a game. Tyler Morus was knocking down threes. Just things were opening up. And then Hadim and Boop was just coming in and bringing so much energy for this team. It was everybody contributed in a real way. And it just felt like the chemistry was there. And something else I had written down in my notes from this game too was Rob Wright in that second half felt like he finally understood the other guys around him and their little movements and where they were going to be and everything. And it just flowed so well. Everybody was confident. The defensive intensity was there in this game. And to be honest, if it wasn't for a tight whistle in this game, this could have been worse.
Yeah. It was, and like, talk about tight whistles. My gosh, I gotta say something real quick. The officiating being the way it was tight both ways. It was a little bit more tight for some of the BYU players. I just wish that we weren't robbed of like another AJ masterclass. But at the same time, I'm glad it happened because I think this team went through like a legitimate trial and learned and grew so much in that moment. So was it ticky tack? Whatever. I really think he shouldn't have had 4 in that moment. Whatever. But the fact that they just started calling everything, they were expecting. I'm stealing this from you because you texted me this. They were anticipating fouls and just blowing the whistle no matter what. And there was some really soft stuff, and that's what you get with college referees. Sometimes, look, tonight was a super touchy night or afternoon rather. There'll be games, they'll play Houston and you will literally be able to punch dudes in the face and they probably won't call anything. So one of those games, BYU, though, adjusted really well. And at the end of the day, in their favor, got to the free throw line whenever they wanted to because it was obvious that Wisconsin was going to do the same thing and they couldn't keep up with them.
Real quick, before we keep going, if you're seeing flashing right now, they're throwing like NBA Cup logos up on the Jumbotron. I'm going to have a seizure. I'm just sitting here doing this thing. But anyhow, the refs were extremely tight. And I mean, yeah, like I texted you, they were just anticipating all these calls. But we know this is if you've ever watched college basketball, this is college basketball. And this is what I talked about so much coming into the season was AJ's with the way he plays and how much he lowers his shoulder and tries to play bully ball. Eventually you have to learn how to go around guys and how to not play into dudes because every college basketball ref, man, they are just jumping at the bit to call a charge and jumping at the bit to make the show about them and you have to be careful. This is going to be a problem all season long is AJ's going to pick up fouls that people are like, are you kidding me on these 50-50 bang bang calls? some of the calls. I mean, the one they called over the back where he shoved them, and that was awful. But besides the point, we don't have to talk about refs and a blowout win. Let's talk about the positive stuff here as well. I had a lot of Rob Wright notes in here, but everyone's asking in the chat, has the line been said yet? If the line was ever needed to be said, this was the game. I mean, yeah, AJ was the best player in this game, but Rob was the most important.
Yeah, unironically, I mean, it's always unironic. We mean that when we say that, folks. Everyone, and it's a joke now, but it's also very true. And tonight it was. I mean, Rob didn't take a single break. Rob and Richie played all the way until BYU was finally up 30, and they were able to finally rest. I mean, it was everything rolled through those guys. And to everyone who was talking about, I mean, us included. I'm not trying to say like you were stupid or dumb or wrong. But everyone, there was some conversation about, oh, like, should we have Rob be passing it more? I don't like Rob Wright taking all the shots. Well, here you go. 10 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds. He was an absolute maestro out there and got to the paint whenever he wanted. He could do a little bit better job finishing for sure. Only 4 of 12 from the field. He continues to get really good looks and just blow them sometimes. But the thing that he did, and it was the fact that he didn't say, okay, AJ's out. I guess I got to do everything now. I guess I'm the scorer. No, his mindset was the opposite, right? And he was finding wide open guys and was able to get them in their spots and their positions. It helps that the 3-pointer finally came alive for not just Richie Saunders, but the entirety of this team. And everyone was helping out with those, Rob Wright assists by canning those threes. But he completely controlled the game. Wisconsin had zero answer for him. And he was just a joy to watch. He is the most important player on this team. Not the best, but the most important.
Definitely the most important. The other thing is in the first half, I felt like he sometimes was dancing a little too much, maybe doing like one move too many to get to his spots. He was so decisive in the second half where if he wasn't forcing those layups where it's like he would go behind the back, a little quick dribble move, and then try and just go direct into a guy. He was like, all right, I'm going to back it out, and I'm going to find an open guy, and we're going to space the floor. We're going to get things going. So unbelievable stuff in this game from Rob Wright.
What's going on? You're red. You're just completely red right now.
It's just a SeatGeek. I mean, it's just SeatGeek cats. I'm about to be purple here in a second once they start throwing up jazz things. It's a nightmare. Yeah, I'm going to be red the whole game.
You look good. You look good.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I'm not mad.
No, you look good.
Can we pat ourselves on the back?
Yeah. We're really good at doing that in this podcast. So let's go ahead.
Yeah, let's keep doing that then, because I think both you and I nailed the preview in each of our own ways.
Yes.
Now they're putting up OKC things. This is crazy. If you guys are watching a lot on the live right now, you guys have no idea what's going on. We nailed this game in different ways. I think you nailed how BYU wanted to slow it down. This wasn't a high-flying game by any means. This was very much played in the half court for BYU for a lot of it. Some stuff was in transition, but that was from defense. BYU wanted to slow it down and get into their half-court offense because Wisconsin couldn't stop them at all. And the only reason there were a ton of points in this game was because Wisconsin couldn't get stops, and it was just a bunch of free throws.
Yeah, I literally was thinking the exact same thing as the point to say. We were both right in our own right. I was very wrong about the scoring. BYU putting up, just about 100 points. I did say Wisconsin scored 71, but you were so right about BYU getting up and down.
I said BYU would score 95. So
yeah, so we, combine our predictions, we did really well. But you're absolutely right, because like we said in the preview, and this is no disrespect to the Badgers, there's not a single player on the court that can guard AJ Devanza, and honestly, Rob Wright, and honestly, Richie Saunders. And so in the half court, we all just saw it with our own eyes. They had zero answer. It was pray and hope that they miss or foul him, and guess what? He's getting the free throw line. I mean, I was just giggling on the couch watching AJ just completely work these dudes. I mean, and by the end, he was toying with them, and he knew what he was doing so well, and he was like, I'm just going to get to the free throw line here. I'm not in a great position, but this guy's going to bite on my up fake, sure enough, and then he's off to the line. He gets to the basket. They have no answer. They foul him. It just was everything that we thought about this kid, and we don't have to talk too much about AJ, but everything that we thought about him is 100% true, and he's showing it on the court against elite talent and good teams. There's a good Wisconsin team, and it was a joy to watch.
And they had Wisconsin on offense. No. they had no answers either on the offensive end because BYU's length and athleticism was just all over the place, and it was affecting them. Like, they would get into their action and then just be like, okay, what on earth are we doing? Because even early on in the game, like when it was like 18-9-ish by the under 12 timeout, the only Wisconsin points were kind of prayers at that point.
100%. I mean, they got hot for 3 for a little bit. I mean, Carrington went 4 or 5, and he was the big leader in that. But the switching was so good from BYU and being able to close the gaps. There was plenty of times Nick Boyd was blowing by dudes, and that still needs to be addressed, right? And the fouling was a point to be like, I mean, both teams could not keep their hands like off of each other. I mean, 24 fouls for BYU. 25 for Wisconsin is outrageous. They shot a combined. Let me do some quick math here. I mean, Carter, they shot over like 64 free throws in this game. We just saw 64 free throws.
Can I throw out a conspiracy theory?
Please.
I think these refs thought they were getting ready to ref the Thunder Jazz game, and they were reffing SGA tonight. And they ended up, they're like, crap, we're doing the BYU. I guess we got to follow the game plan.
Yeah, you're right. They got confused by the court. They're like, NBA Cup. Oh,
yeah. They're like, that. I don't see SGA, however, but we're just gonna call it like how we would.
Love a good Thunder dig.
You ready to get to the chat?
Let's get to the chat. Yeah,
let's get to the chat. First off, let's address this one. Sam Wise the Gray 89 in the chat says Carter looks like he's at one heck of an after party. I'll let you guys know I'm not in the club right now. I'm sitting here.
The opposite of the club.
The opposite of the club. The Delta Center. Kind of the club. I'm like beneath it. The suites are like right above me. But anyhow, let's get to the actual chats talking about the game. Eli in the chat said, "How many acres of land does Richie own in Wisconsin? My tater tot king." Yeah, man. I mean, this is Dallin Hall versus Kansas. Richie Saunders versus Wisconsin. I mean, these guys just own these dudes.
I mean, if you're a Wisconsin fan, you're like, you legitimately are thinking about this dude for like at night because it's just like, oh, this guy kills us. I mean, I think the big thing there, if to just do a little bit of analysis, I think Wisconsin like fits his style of basketball a lot, and like, let's say it how it is. He was able to get to the basket a lot. I mean, he can do it against anyone, but really effective against the guys they were throwing on him defensively. I mean, they just didn't have the best on-ball defenders here on the Badgers. And then also just being open from 3 and shooting in that gym, I think really helped. Man, he was awesome.
Yeah, the three-pointers, everybody was taking NBA threes. And every time I'm like, that's short. Everybody was taking NBA threes tonight. And that's just what happens on an NBA court. But they already ripped out the college line. I'm looking right here.
Wow.
So, yeah. Anyhow, back to the chat. Like you guys said before the game, as simple as the analysis is, man, when we can hit open shots, we look so good. I mean, that was once the three-pointer started falling early in the game, everything was wide open.
100%. I mean, I sent you like that video of the Rob driving kick to Richie in the corner, and that's like, this is the team. This is what it's supposed to look like, and today is what it looked like. I mean, especially that second half. I mean, I think they shot over 50% in the second half from 3. It's the 3-point shooting combined with the ability to get to the rim. Those two things, when you have them combined, you can beat anyone. And today they did it. They found the open shooters. They were so good at it. They were patient, like at the basket too. I didn't think they forced a single shot. I mean, I think about the Mboop lob, right, where he's not quite in position. So guess what? He realizes what it's going to be, kicks it out to Morus, our guy Tyler Morus. Get on the Morus bus, by the way, baby. Goes ahead and cans a 3. And that was a real dagger. You put him up 17, and it seemed insurmountable at that point. And of course it was. That's what this team can do. I think this was a peek into the potential. They're going to have their ups and downs, but man, they hit shots. They look like one of the best teams in the country, easily.
Mm-hmm. Can't agree more. Tight whistle in the game. Yeah, everyone's saying, "Oh, say the line, say the line." We already said that.
We said it. If you missed the line, we said the line.
Chase, I'm gonna have you start going through the chats right now. My computer's bugging out. So
yeah. Let's go. 22. Shout out Ethan Holiday. 22 on the Wisconsin heavy cardio day. Brutal. I love a little smack talk though. Let's keep it up. So we beat the refs. I don't know if we beat the Badgers by 30, but the refs were bad. Wisconsin got punked inside despite their height advantage. This is a really good point by @block127. Wisconsin's biz, like we talked about in the preview, they're legit. They support the backcourt really well. But I was so impressed with like BYU's ability to play an undersized lineup. Like when Mboop's playing center, like that's undersized. And the next tallest guy is like Richie Saunders. I mean, they were running out with Dawson. You know, they do Russ, Richie, Rob Wright, and Mboop. And so you're asking Richie to play, you know, at least defensively, that 4 spot. Not a single time that I feel like a big really overpowered any of these guys. And they had their matchups. I mean, BYU was switching everything. And that's part on Wisconsin. Like maybe they should have hunted those a little bit more. Again, they're like we said in the preview, they're not a big post-up team. In fact, I didn't see it. Maybe I saw one this entire game. That's not where they're at. I was so impressed by that. I think the rebounding could be a little bit better. Too many offensive rebounds in the first half. Second half rebounding, impeccable. I thought it was really great. Let's keep going here, Carter. Our guy says Marusfine making those threes today was clutch for the rest of his season. Carter?
About time. I think he might just be an NBA gym guy. I mean, this guy, all of a sudden, he can't make him in the Marriott Center, but making him in NBA gyms.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's it's just he's got a limited range. We need him to start keep going on that. Let's go our guy Jack. Does Carter know if Kostic called that bank in 3? Otherwise, it shouldn't count.
Cannot confirm nor deny, but this game was played in the afternoon, so the bank should be open.
Bank has incredible analysis from you right there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We'll count it. 98 points is the final. Let's go back here. 1 million empty seats in the Delta Center was tragic. We need some Big J journalists to expose who was behind those prices. Well, you've come to you came to the wrong place. That's not our job.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. It was, come on, man.
We're in talks.
The upper bowl was what, 5% full, 10% full. I mean, this place should have been sold out. It should have been $25 ticket, $20 tickets in the upper bowl. Those prices on SeatGeek today just threw everybody off the scent. And just like, I'm not paying $94 to leave work early to come to this game. If it was $20, yeah, and you bring a family of 4 for $80. We've already done this song and dance, but despite that, the people who were here made it a great environment. The loudest it got in this arena was the Richie and 1-3. And honestly, when Mboop got that jump ball and started pumping up the crowd, that's when it was probably the loudest in this arena today. Kinley in the chat says Rob Wright might have the best handle in college basketball. Chase, agree or disagree?
I need to watch more college basketball, but I'd have to look really hard to find someone better. There's times, I think decision-making wise, he's not necessarily the very best. I mean, he's still really, really good. But as far as just like tight handle on the ball, yeah, he might be. He's nasty.
Yeah, people would see that, and especially like I don't disagree with the take, but people would see the Wisconsin ending and go, "Oh, you can't have that. You had the turnover at the end of the Wisconsin game." I think there's just a tiny bit too much dancing at times. I wish he'd be a little bit more direct. 2 max 3 moves and then get to your spot. Sometimes it's like, all right, man, this isn't AAU. Let's get it going. And we saw that in the second half today. He was backing out, said, all right, let's swing it. Let's get other people involved here.
He was decisive. It wasn't any dancing like he said. And it was everything downhill, kick out, find the right man. It was awesome.
He said,
we got someone in the chat claiming, I'll read you through this, Carter, real quick. We don't want to speculate too much here on this podcast, but I do want to address our guy in the chat here. Someone in the chat's claiming that they've given Kennard Davis rides on Uber. And if he says that, I believe him. Julio Vera 6124. He says he's given Kennard Davis rides on Uber, and he's told him that he's been cleared to play versus Miami. We're not going to aggregate this too much because
but
we don't know any info. But that's being claimed in the chat right now. That's what's that combo going on.
And this is why college sports are awesome. Did you see the John Mateer stuff at Oklahoma?
No.
Before the Texas game, he told a guy at Chipotle when he was in line, the guy at Chipotle was like, "You playing on Saturday against Texas?" He was like, "Yeah." Then put it out into one of like the Oklahoma message boards, and it was true. And Mateer was like, "Yeah, I shouldn't have told that guy."
Well, hey, look, man. Shout out our guy in the chat. If you're right, we're not gonna. Again, we got to be sensitive with it. It's obviously a little sensitive situation, but look,
We will definitely bring this up if you are right. Again.
Yes, you will be getting a shout out. So this is the only stuff you get on this podcast. Just kidding. We didn't do any work for it, but shout out our guy Julio.
We got to put it on screen here too.
Yeah.
Jack in the chat. We shot 48% from the field and 41% from three. I think everyone was mentally in the Lifetime Gym. If you don't know the Lifetime Gym, it's the one in New York City where every single player has no one's ever missed a shot there, Chase.
Yeah, that's where Hoodie Mello started. Like,
Chris Brickley, I think, is the guy that does all the videos there. I have never seen one player ever miss a shot in that gym, and it felt like nobody was missing tonight on BYU here. And if BYU shooting 40% from three, Chase, not one team's beating them in the country.
No. And if they play defense like they did, if they play a game like they did today, they said this in the broadcast. They're like, "This is a Final Four team, hands down." If they play like they did today, it was incredible, unreal.
Yeah. In the chat, Nathan, did Davis being out make the rest of the team figure out how to defend? AJ and others stepped up big. I think it was just that second half of the UConn game where they finally figured out, like, oh, wait, we can do this? Like, it clicked for them defensively. We pinpointed it last episode or maybe on the reaction show from the UConn game that it kind of had that same light bulb going off as the second half of Colorado. It's like, oh, wait, we can be one of the best defensive teams in the country and cause insane disruption.
Yeah. And it's just like, we say this all the time. It was the effort today. And that's what 90% of defense is. And they really gave a crap. Like they were closing lanes, causing out kickouts, hard closeouts to shooters. There's still some things to work on. And when we go back and watch it, I mean, there's plenty of film where they're still a little bit lost on the back end here. They're lucky Wisconsin didn't run a lot of, Wisconsin doesn't run a lot of off the ball action. Most of their stuff happens with the two guards and Blackwell and Boyd. And they still got blown by a few times. But for the most part, I mean, holding this team to 70, a team who likes to get up and run and shoot a lot, who's going to score a lot of points this season, unbelievable defense.
And I will say this, as much as we crap on the Delta Center and about playing these games here, a 28-point win against one of the top teams in the Big Ten on a neutral site is going to look very good for us analytically at the end of the season.
Yes. Shout out neutral site, Delta Center.
You got to play the game, though. You got to play the game.
No, I'm happy with it. Yeah, they won by 30.
But it is a stupid rule. It's very stupid. But anyhow, Sam Emery in the chat. I was listening on the radio, but it sounded like a good crowd. Replays didn't look great, though. It was a solid crowd. A lot of people moved down to the lower bowl, and they filled up. And so it was a good crowd today.
Shout out to people that went and made it loud. 2 o'clock on a Friday, not an easy game to get to.
Isaac in the chat said, let's be honest, I'm so happy for the outcome of this game, but this game was a de facto home game for the Cougars. Yeah, that's why the quote-unquote neutral game, if you're listening on audio right now.
Yeah. It was. It pretty much is. Although, like, the environment at the Marriott Center is 10 times better than whatever the Delta Center gets to. We've done this for a while now. We've been to plenty of Delta Center games. You know my feelings on the Delta Center. If this was in Provo, I mean, they would have won by even more. I don't know how much the crowd paid into it as much as they were just playing awesome. But, yeah.
And it stinks. We won't see – I mean, we're not going to see BYU play the Marriott Center for another 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, it's a bummer,
after Clemson. Yeah, that is a bummer. At CW3982 in the chat says, are Dom minutes sustainable if he can't hit shots?
What an awesome question, and I'm really glad we're getting into this because – a lot of dudes to shout out in this game. We haven't even talked about the role players stepping up, and all of them did in a really big way. And we're going to start off with this comment with our guy, Dom. I thought he was awesome today. Listen, he did not hit a three, but he was confidently taking them. And I have confidence that when he works with coaches and gets back in the gym, I think that can become a legit shot for him. The biggest thing, though, was the energy he brought on the defensive end. We talked about it in UConn and everything, and this is why they really brought him in, at least for this season. This is his role. It's so valuable for a team to have a guy that does this, and we saw it last year with guys like Moet Mag or Trey Stewart coming off the bench and being just an energizer bunny in that role. Dom was awesome. He also hits all of his free throws, and he's not afraid to get to the basket. And when he does, he can jump higher than pretty much anyone there. Like
Chase, this place was about to explode when he caught that ball at the corner three, went down the baseline and went up. If he would have slammed that in, man, I mean, that's dunk of the season stuff right there.
Oh, easily. I love him being aggressive. And again, like I said before, he hits his free throws. So I'm like, go to the basket as much as you like, big dog. I was really impressed with his performance today. And if he did hit his shot, how much more are we talking about him? I think it comes, and I think the answer to answer the question in the chat, yeah, he's earned himself minutes tonight. He's going to be playing every game from now on for the most part.
Yes, he 100% earned his minutes. And talking about other role players, I mentioned him briefly at the beginning, but he deserves more time and a bigger shout out. Dawson Baker. Dawson Baker stepped up in a major way tonight, and he was picking his spots real well. I thought he played solid enough defense. Like I said, if he's able to knock down shots like that, he's got to play more, and that's what BYU was looking for. We talked about that last episode where we're like, BYU's got to find almost like their Grayson Allen off the bench kind of thing. Can Dawson Baker be that guy when BYU's fully back?
Yeah, I think he really can. I think today he proved it as well in a lot of ways. 2 of 4 from 3, which is always good. He picks his spots there too, doesn't force anything. I love when he gets into the lane. When he gets that guy on his back, I mean, I'm thinking bucket every time. He's so good and so patient when he is working in between these two guys and working off of his big off the screen there. Just being able to have offense from another source, and he does it entirely organically from scratch because he's a legit ball handler. He knows how to get to the basket and score and finish, hit free throws. It's huge for BYU. The defense leaves a little bit to be desired on ball, but he's so smart, so savvy. I mean, he's 25 for crying out loud. He's the veteran guy that BYU needs and has to step up in these moments.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get back to the chat, Chase.
Hold on, I got to shout out one more person, and that's our guy Kadeem Boop.
Oh, Chase, I was getting ready. I got distracted, getting ready to tweet. It was a Mark Baum meme in The Big Short of him on the phone. Just like, do you guys have any more in Boop stock? I need more. I need more. I want all of it because he has played himself into playing major minutes this season, and it makes you so comfortable as a BYU fan. If Keba Keita goes down, and he wasn't 100% today, you could tell, like, especially in warm-ups, he was looking a little shaky. He was shaking up still from Saturday. Even then, though, I thought he still played fine. And then in Boop, those minutes, it was fine. If Keita, if Kate is in foul trouble, you have the comfortability of Boop coming in, and even Xavion can play if he needs to.
I mean, look, man, we pat ourselves on the back one more time. This is the last time we'll do this podcast. We said this is going to be the Boop coming out party. Everyone's going to start to understand who this guy is, the broadcast, all these things. And if you didn't already know, which if you're listening, you probably know, and you're following BYU basketball, there's been a lot to love so far. Today was everything that we like from him being. He played solid defense, rebounded really well. He hustles like it's nobody's business, finishes at the rim, makes smart decisions like that pass out to Maras we're talking about. So I love the lineup with him at 5. I mean, it's such a great counter to Keba's, big physical presence, and then being able to just run and get going with him, Boop. And we're forgetting, and people haven't seen it because it's just the role he's been playing. The dude can stroke it too. I mean, he's a shooter. And so when that really unlocks and BYU starts to figure out stuff for him, it's going to be unreal. I love every Mboop minutes. Give me all the stock. I want to own 100% of the Mboop stock.
Yeah, and BYU's got to make sure they lock him down for years to come, and don't say, hey, buddy, don't look at the transfer portal. You're staying here in Provo because this guy, man, he's so important to this team going forward. Back to the chat. If it was an actual neutral site game, who knows how this game goes? I think that's a fair point, but I mean, BYU's playing at Fiserv or wherever the Milwaukee Bucks play next year, so they're doing the same neutral site, home and home type deal. So.
Yeah. And look, you win by 30. I don't care where you play this game at. I think BYU wins.
Maras hit 2 threes. Kostic hit 2 threes at the end there.
Kostic, he was confidently.
Talking about taking advantage of your playing time coming in.
Yeah, might as well, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Going back, Jack in the chat, people were talking about the Kennard Davis, the Uber stuff or whatever, and then Jack's getting all excited because he's a Moo Davis #1 fan. inside sources have confirmed Jack has pivoted his position and has bought another outfit for another player.
He sold his Moose stock.
Nope. He still got that just in case.
Oh, he's just doubling down, going somewhere else.
With another player, you will see soon. So check the Twitters out for that one.
Oh man, can't wait! Can't wait for
It
the
is-
Jack outfit.
I cannot wait for this outfit, and hopefully we get to see it at Madison Square Garden. Shout out at Bach127 in the chat. He said that 6'9" lineup plus Richie is my favorite lineup.
Might be my favorite lineup too. I mean, he's talking about. I'm assuming what's the 6'9" lineup plus Richie? Is Rob Wright thrown in there, or might need a little bit more of a? Because you're going AJ and Boop. I think Kata, Dom, and then Richie. I mean, I would need Rob Wright in there for that to be my favorite lineup. But I love that too. I love how versatile this team is, man. I mean, their bigs play so much bigger than they actually are, especially against legit 7-footers in Wisconsin. Like we talked about at the beginning of the show, they were for the most part, non-factors offensively, except they did some good cleanup stuff and they were there for some dump offs from the guards and whatever. But they were not pushed around by those guys. They play so much bigger than they are.
Yeah, they do. Oh, yeah, they do. Speaking of resume, BYU moved up 10 spots in KenPom. Somebody get Kalani on the line. Style points might matter. KenPom was sitting in front of me the whole time at this game.
Did you say what's up?
Nah, I didn't say anything, KenPom. I don't want to bother.
That's fair
he's always at these games here in Utah because he lives in Salt Lake City, right?
He does. Yeah. I think, when you hold a team to 37% from the field and then you make 14 of 34 3-pointers, yeah, your KenPom's going to skyrocket. He loves that stuff. So
analytics are going to love you. They're going to love you. Shout out at JBH32 in the chat said audibly laughed out loud when Mboop did a Euro and finished with the yam. That was dirty, Chase.
Dirty. And it looked easy. I mean, it was effortless for him.
Nathan in the chat said, is this how Duke fans feel every year? Yes, it is, Nathan. Yes, it is. Like, if you ask Duke fans right now, watching this team compared to last year's team with, like, Cam Boozer and those guys, it's like, yeah, it's fine. Meanwhile, Duke's one of the best teams in the country.
So spoiled. But then at the same time, the disappointment is far greater.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dog.
That's the trade-off, If it's Final Four or bust every year with those Cats. So
yeah, that's true. Jack in the chat, we have scores. Feels like guys are starting to figure out their roles, and guys are just getting comfortable. And we talked about this a ton, Chase. Like guys just it's going to take time in live games for these guys to understand how each other play in games and their movements and where they are on the court, and just building that chemistry. And we're seeing it slowly but surely. And today was the best example.
Yeah, the trust was there today. We talked about it last time. If I feel like if I'm trusting guys on the court, I think the players are feeling the same way. I trusted Tyler Morris in all those moments. I trusted Dawson Baker. I trusted Diamande. Like that's really big for this team to really figure it out. And like Jack says, man, we got more than 3 scores on this team, folks. More than 3.
Morris, when his threes go in, they look so pretty.
They really do. I mean, he's got high. I mean, it's like a ball.
That ball almost hit the scoreboard. He's got such a high arc. Shout out Preston in the chat. Love the production of the wait. What
of the bench?
Bench. Okay, just making sure. Kids show. When everyone's starting to play rated G here on Church Ball, when everyone starts putting 8 points and are making shots, it opens up so many options. Absolutely great point in the chat. Nathan said, anyone else see KY pat Ainge's leg after Richie's deep NBA range 3-pointer? I did not see that, but Nathan, I'm going to need that video, and I'm going to need you to send that to me as soon as possible.
Yes, I didn't see that either, but I love that. Man, mock draft, I tweeted it out. Mock draft had Richie getting drafted. Cavaliers, I think. They talked about it on the broadcast too. Lots of scouts. Our guy JY tweeted out 33 scouts from the NBA, 20 different teams represented at that game today, Carter. And they weren't just there for AJ. That's for dang sure.
When I was picking up my credential today, I mean, it was just every single team. Like they have it like laid out or whatever with all the teams or whatever that are coming and all the people that are coming. It was just every single team in the NBA. I mean, it was crazy. There were so many NBA credentials getting passed out today. And yeah, Richie, I think he's got a real future in the NBA, man. I actually do. And if you would have said this 2 years ago, I would have said you are out of your mind.
It's all about shooting for him. If he can be a consistent, 38% and above 3-point shooter, absolutely, because he has everything else. I mean, he hustles like crazy. I think he's big enough to play a guard position in the NBA. He's got to stay in front of some legit dudes defensively. But if guys like Sam Hauser and Sam Merrill can carve out roles, and those guys are awesome in the NBA, I think Richie's got a spot too. It's all about got to be a consistent shooter. And I think he can be. He's awesome.
You just had to Sam Hauser, Sam Merrill.
Yeah. What about him?
Nothing. Huh? No, like Tijon Stallon.
No. Con Knipple. Come on.
Yeah, don't get me going. Don't get me going, Chase.
Con's more just a shooter.
Yeah, but Kevin Young is much more than a shooter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. Just making sure. Kevin Young's just going to throw every favor he needs in the NBA to be like, I'm getting Richie. You guys got to draft Richie. You guys got to draft Richie. He's calling in every favor for that guy. Another thing when watching here at the game, I don't know if you could tell on TV, in the first half when AJ would get switched on to like Andrew Rohde or Nick Boyd, oh my gosh, Kevin Young just got so excited. You could just tell and just saying, go, 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 go. He got so excited on the switches. And you could see AJ, he's just licking his lips being like, let's go, man. This is barbecue chicken.
Yeah, he literally, it was like, you could hear him through the TV, Carter. He'd be like, clear out. He's like, clear. And it worked, man. AJ had that jump stop into the, fake left shoulder over to the right. He did it again. The UConn one that everyone was buzzing about. And it was just as impressive. Obviously got fouled, didn't finish it, but, made the free throws. 11 of 12 from the free throw line for AJ. Love to see it. Got to keep that up. He can get to the line all day long.
Heck yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah in the chat. Let's go. Heck yeah. I love it. CW in the chat. Shout out to CW. Putting on some great ACC games. And Boot playing instead of Boscovich is what this team needs. Will be interesting to see if Kostic can carve out a role. The big three is incredible. If guys are playing like this, everyone's going to be deserving playing time. And we're going to be talking about like we were at the end of last season where it's like, is this 10-man rotation sustainable?
We can't let one game take everything away because, 2 weeks ago, we're like, the bench needs to step up. There's nothing going on the bench. And now we're here like, man, there's so much going on the bench. Kostic is interesting, man. I love his stroke. I think it's going to come down to him. Like, can he be a legitimate ball handler? Can he take a little bit of pressure off of Rob Wright? The coaching staff hasn't really tried that out yet. They let Dawson kind of take the point responsibilities when needs be. And they just play Rob Wright 33 minutes. So there's not a lot of time for Rob Wright to like get a breather in the first place. If Kostic can kind of be developed into a ball handler and run the offense kind of guy, that's where I think he's going to really find his minutes. If not, I don't know how much he cracks unless he becomes an undeniable knockdown shooter for this team. And if he does, then awesome. And he's shown that he can contribute in that way. But it is really deep.
But I think once Big 12 play comes around, they're going to need somebody that can relieve some pressure off Rob Wright because, I don't mind the limited AJ minutes where it's him bringing up the ball. Also, it was interesting. Beginning of the game, they wanted AJ bringing up the ball quite a bit, which I thought was interesting. But maybe that was to get into certain actions and to get switches and everything. But besides the point, I don't necessarily love the ISO heavy offense when AJ's running it. We've done that a bunch, but eventually that's going to have to get figured out closer to once conference play hits because teams like Houston are going to shut that down.
Were you surprised? The lack of hard doubles from Wisconsin was
appalling. I texted you. Yeah. I texted you that. I'm like, why are they not? And look, like the second he puts that ball on the floor, you show that double at him. And I know he's tall enough and he's a good passer and everything, but I'd rather take my chances doubling him and let someone else beat you than let AJ you can say, oh, well, he's making, you're giving up contested mid-range shots. That's his favorite shot on the court.
I think his favorite, and he's knocking him down at an insane rate, or he's getting fouled because guys overextend on those block shots. They would shade it sometimes, they would kind of like show it a little bit at him and he'd back out of it, but they never just are like hard double trap. I mean, there's times he got to the corner, and as soon as your guy gets baseline, I feel like, personally, whatever, I'm not the coach here, but my coaching point would be like, if he gets to the baseline, use that as an extra defender. I need a hard double. I need to pin him on the baseline. I can't let this dude beat us, especially when he has a favorable matchup, which he had pretty much all night long. So anyway, I don't care. I'm not Wisconsin, but other teams will do that. To your point, in the Big 12, they're not going to let AJ get away with just going one-on-one.
Not at all. Not at all. Back to the chat. And Boot playing instead of Boscovich is what this team needs.
Yeah, we already read this one.
Oh, we already read this one. I'm losing my mind here.
That's all right.
There's some serious potential here in the chat.
Agreed.
I agree. Moving on. Liked what I see from Mboop and Diamande. Would say Keita was at 80% speed tonight. Yeah, once again, like I said, you could see in warm-ups it wasn't because in warm-ups he's usually just going after it. He's bringing the energy. He's just yamming the ball, and he was taking it easy. So, but he'll be fine, and everything will be fine with this team going forward. I have no worries. So, moving on. What do you think the score would have been if they played at the Marriott Center? I would have said about the same. I don't think you can play much better than that.
I mean, like, how many more points can BYU score at that point?
Yeah. People are telling Jack to hold their stock in the chat, the Moose stock. We'll let them figure out their financial positions on that. Tater Coog in the chat. I mean, you might want to trademark that username. Only here for a second. Defense can be this team's identity. Love the intensity for 40 minutes. Big win. How many times did I say that in the last 2 episodes, Chase? The defensive intensity is what this is what everything's going to drive from this team. And once again, we saw it tonight.
There was a stat thrown on the broadcast, so I don't think you heard it. AJ is holding players as a defender to 15% shooting from the field. It's the 7th best in the country. It's unreal stuff. I saw some dudes on Twitter try to bag on his defensive game to try it. Everyone's trying to knock him down to vault up, the other guys in this draft. And I just want to say, first of all, just because one guy's awesome doesn't mean the other guys aren't. This is the deepest draft since 2003. It's insane. So I don't know why they need to like really compare and get into it. But AJ defense is not a problem. And the intensity started with him and it went all the way around. And I love it too. I think it can be an identity. I think it's a really good point. We saw at UConn with that press. It turned the game around. It got BYU back in it. And then today, I keep saying tonight, whatever. It was another big talking point. Wisconsin, like I don't think we can emphasize enough. They're going to score so many points this season. Like that's their identity. That's their thing. And so to hold them to 70 is a really big deal. One thing that did not work, Carter, the press did not work on this Wisconsin team. They were ready for it and they broke it easily.
Yeah, they broke it within 2 seconds. I think I mentioned this in the UConn pro, whatever. It doesn't matter when I mentioned it. But with Keita and Moo Davis were the tone setters on the defensive end for this team, to start the season and everything. I think you mentioned it. AJ's the tone setter on defense for this team from the get-go. He has been unbelievable. And it I didn't know that stat because I wasn't listening to the broadcast, but it makes total sense because his length and athleticism and the intensity he has right now on defense. I mean, how do you get a shot off on a guy like that?
That beats me. I couldn't.
Like how many? There's not many 6'9", 6'10" dudes who can handle the ball the way they can and get their own shot like that. It's incredible. It's incredible. And moving on here, Jack said, "Don't worry, I'm holding the Moose stock. This is just a simple side quest. Would hate to see Richie in the Denver Nuggets threads. I don't think you'd hate that. So, just for people that don't understand the sarcasm,
Richie Saunders with Nikola Jokic, please.
Oh, let me get Richie on the Golden State Warriors. I want to see him. I want to see him running off some Steph screens.
Yeah, you don't want to see him on the Hornets?
I would, but not for Richie's sake.
Yeah.
I care.
His career to die.
Yeah. Khan, I love Khan and Khan's saving the franchise right now, but I don't know if Richie can put an entire city on his back like that. So it's a heavy load to bear.
Yeah, I can imagine.
All right, Chase. Well, any other thoughts from this game tonight and going forward?
It was awesome, man. This is who this team can be. Extremely efficient at both ends of the floor. The scoring was unreal. Scored on 60% of their possessions. Unreal, Carter. I think one last thing I'll say, and this is me reading into stuff that probably doesn't need to be read into, but the bounce back from that UConn game, again, it was a great game, and they probably really felt pretty good about themselves afterwards. But being able to have a really, evidently, really good week of practice to come in, play on an NBA court and just take a team to the absolute woodshed, respond to adversity in the game. I keep going back to that moment where it's like Wisconsin's within 7, their bench is getting hype, AJ's out with fouls. You and I are like, oh crap, in the texts. Wisconsin threw their very best punch. They were hitting threes, they were playing good defense, and it just barely nicked. I mean, the BYU was like Ivan Drago out there. Like it didn't mean anything to them. They got hit and hit and hit, and it didn't matter. BYU immediately rattled off, I think like a 13-3 or something like that run. Was able to take the lead right back and then never looked back, going up 30 and absolutely dominating Wisconsin. Shows a lot to the resilience of this team. I think it was big. We saw, like we said, the trust continue to grow. The chemistry looked much better in this game. I think they're really figuring it out. And I think they're really starting to bond as a team and get together. And they're going to start doing some really special stuff here if they keep on this trajectory.
Yeah, and we'll dive into the tape a little bit more and dive into the stats more on our next episode and everything. I'm looking at the stats right now, Chase. The few things that jump out to me, Rob Wright, 11 assists. Like, seeing those assist numbers up like that, 18 assists, that's what it needs to be going forward. I'm not saying Rob has to average 11 a game, but more so in the ballpark of 7 to 8. That's what we need to see. AJ shot 12 free throws in the limited minutes he played tonight. And then, do you know who led in plus minus tonight?
I did because I checked. Shout out
Maruss. Shout out the Maruss bus, all aboard. Hey, get on now because this is your last chance to get on the Maruss bus now.
This is the last stop, baby. This is the station. Yeah, that was awesome.
Real quick, we'll answer some chats. We got Richie Saunders and Instant Glue Guy wherever he is. What Dalton Connect was supposed to be. I'm still holding on my Dalton Connect stock. I'm still holding on.
Yeah, not done yet. That dude's amazing.
Not done,
but really good. Really good comparison there.
Not done yet. Wisconsin is ranked and will make the tourney. Ball movement was much better this game. Not as much ISO ball. 100% agree. This win is going to look so good when we're doing all the graphs and the nets and the KenPoms and all that good stuff come Selection Sunday. Again, in the chat, having this incredible non-conference schedule is great, but you got to win some of these big games. And man, this was a big one. Crazy thing is, I think we're nowhere near our peak quite yet. I think that's a great point, Chase.
Yeah, I mean, we just rattled off some great chats right there. I mean, we got a ball-knowing fan base here. Come on.
That's what I was about to say. The chat does know ball, which I'm shocked with because sometimes you deal with, I mean, I'm dealing with fans on the other side on some of the college football stuff, and oh my gosh, man, these are not ball knowers. This chat, man, they know what they're talking about. They're watching the games. You can tell.
Yeah, they are locked in. So shout out all those comments. And I 100% agree. Like, the non-con's awesome. I wish a couple more could have been in Provo, but it's whatever. And like we said, you got to win some of them to make it worth it. You can't just go out and lose. This is a quad 1 win. It'll stay a quad 1 win, neutral court. Not just a win. It was a complete domination. And yeah, what a great start.
And on top of that too, I think this was so big as well because let's say you choked this game away and you didn't win it. The narrative until going into Big 12 play would have been, oh, BYU can't beat good teams. Even if they would have won in Florida next week against Miami or Georgetown Dayton, and even if they beat Clemson, those aren't good enough teams. Those are all bubble teams at best going into the NCAA tournament. You had to win a top 25 matchup like this today. And man, it was just pure domination. So let's finish up with some chats here, Chase, because they're probably about to kick me out here soon. CW in the chat, let it be known I'm on the Maruss bus. Get your tickets. Buy your tickets because we're almost sold out.
Almost sold out. It's a double-decker. We can fit plenty of people. Tickets are unlimited. Go ahead and hop on.
It's a Trax bus. Rob Wright was much better today. We didn't have someone like this last year who can get his own Dallin Hall. Won't be missed. Dallin Hall, don't diss on my guy Dallin Hall out here. He'll be missed. The second unit would very much miss Dallin Hall.
Yeah, we love Dallin Hall over here. The second unit's the big thing. The starting point guard and Rob Wright. I wouldn't pick anyone else to do it. Second unit though, we could really use one more point guard. But when you're playing 35 minutes, man, I mean, you tend to be all right.
Does this count as a home game for KenPom? I love it. Autocorrect. I should have asked him. I don't know. I'm assuming it's a neutral site. So.
It's neutral site. It's listed neutral site on the official whatever scorecard.
But
thing here. So.
Yeah. And want to get this correction here. He said won't be missed compared to Rob Wright. I think it's a fair statement.
I mean, yeah.
Dawson was great tonight. Couldn't agree more. And then, Chase, let's close up with this one from our guy Eli. Predictions for BYU Cincy tomorrow.
Cougs by 100, man. You got to have it. This is, I mean, by all accounts, Texas Tech was the biggest game of this season. You pooped your pants. All right, whatever. You have chance to you just completely redeem yourself. I thought completely dominating TCU was a really good sign for this team and their mentality going forward. This is it, man. You have to win this game. You lose this game, you kiss everything goodbye. They're not going to the Big 12 title game. I know there's a chance of some if they hit like a 12-leg parlay, they could still go. It's not happening if you don't win this game. It all comes down to tomorrow, man. I'm nervous and excited. I think BYU does it, though. They're better than Cincinnati. I know that for a fact. So I think they come out and show it and they win.
I said it on CarterCast. Go subscribe if you're listening to. Shameless plug once again. But I said it on there. Growing up watching BYU games, this is a classic game where it's like, wow, this is a trap game. You know, if you're a pessimistic BYU fan, they fall apart. I'm not a believer in the Cincinnati team. And if you look at Cincinnati, they can't stop the run. They can't stop a nosebleed. They're giving up 500 yards a game against any above average opponent, whether that's Utah or Arizona. Fafita throws for 300. Utah runs for 300. Dampier was even getting it done in the air as well. I think Bear has a big game. BYU should be able to run all over them. Honestly, the only way BYU loses this game, in my opinion, is if they shoot themselves in the foot with turnovers, and that's it.
Yeah, you just can't let the moment get to you. You know, we've yet to see BYU like really come alive in big games. Other than like that Utah one, you're playing at home now. You got to be on the road. Big noon kickoff is there. I think the crowd will be hyped. Cincinnati, I think they still have a lot to play for. They have a number 11 team coming to town. I think you're absolutely right. As long as BYU doesn't kill themselves, I see them winning this game. They're going to give Sorsby those linebackers. Kelly and Glasgow are going to give Sorsby fits, and I really think that it's going to be one of those.
Can you hear that?
What is going on?
Let's get a nice rendition.
Stand up, Carter. Stand up. Show some respect.
Flattering angle. It's not a. We gotta wrap this up. This is disrespectful for me sitting down. This is crazy.
I mean, you could, if you stick around enough, you could get a free NBA Cup game out of this, Carter. Come on.
I'm good. I don't need to see SGA. I saw enough free throws tonight. All right, Chase. Well, I think that's my cue to get out of here, and that's our cue to wrap this thing up. What a show, Chase.
I'll
mute myself.
Yeah, I'll wrap up for us. Since we got Old Glory waving in the background of Carter's chat here. Hey, shout out everyone in the chat. These shows are really only as good as y'all hopping on. It's why we go live. It's why we love sports. It's why we love doing this. So thank you all for hopping on. And thank you for your comments. We truly do have ball knowers. We love our country. God bless America. God bless the
God
Cougs.
bless America.
And
God bless America.
We're gonna keep rooting them on, man. What a great win. Here's the football tomorrow.
Yeah, let's win. Let's win a football game tomorrow. Shout out the Lady Cougs who go beat UCLA tonight. Ryan Atkinson in the chat.
Yeah.
What a show. What a show, Chase. That was a blast. Ton of fun. We'll be back once again. You guys know the drill. We're going to preview the Terry Chocolate's ESPN Invitational next week. We'll give our picks, our predictions. We're going to dive into the film. Chase, I got a lot of thoughts on this Miami team. I've gotten a good look at these boys. They're physical. They're a physical group, so get ready for that one. Yeah. Shout out America. Shout out BYU. What a show. Any last thoughts, Chase, before we go? I know we just had that, but
no, love you guys. We'll see you next time. More hoops coming your way. Come on.
All right. See y'all. Adios. Go Cougs.